All right, Shalom, Salakia. I had a call come in. I'm gonna pick up the video from here, and so let's read it one more time. It says, "I've laid a snare for thee, and thou art taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou thou hast Salakia, thou hast striven against the Lord." So you see, because what's the word? Let's go in that word real quick. Striven, and let's read that. The word there is gawara.
Strong's H 1624. Garra, garra.
See that? And the word means what? To cause strife, stir up, contend, meddle. So, and then who's not the meddler? That's a sit down right there. Esau's the meddler. Okay, he's the great meddler on the earth. He meddles with GMOs and different things like that that are contaminated. It's killing us, man. Look at films clips from back in the day. You'll see there wasn't obesity like that like it is now. You have all types of depressions and all types of mental diseases, the fluoride in the water. These things are messing with people. It's meddling in people's lives, man. Just like dude said, that Babylon meddles in other nations' business, man. So it's a well known that he is a meddler. Okay, and it says to strive, stir up, strife, excite, strife, to excite oneself against. That's why the Lord said He's angry with the wicked every day. He's not happy with this earth, the way it's looking, the way it's coming out, because the earth is being destroyed. That's why I said He's going to destroy him that destroyeth the earth. Okay, so let's go one more time. Let's get this precept. This is the book of let's get Revelations. Let's get Revelation 6:17 and verse 16. And it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast," that's these other nations, all right, that's going to come against Babylon, "these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." So that animosity is here. We hadn't had that nerve in a while, because everybody knew that yet Babylon was doing something, but it was one of those you want to ignore it. Just like you want to ignore your crackhead cousin. You can tell that something ain't right, until guess what? He steals from you. Then you're like, damn, man, I knew it. They start coming looking a little worse, and then all of a sudden their actions speak louder than their words, man. So the actions are speaking now. That's the sit down too. The wicked's actions speak louder than words. That's how we know. That's how Malachi is true, because we know that this man's the devil, because he's the way that he's acting. He can say no, 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 but if somebody says no, 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 but they steal from you and keep doing the things that they're saying no about, you have to believe what you're seeing. You can't believe what they're telling you. They're saying, "Oh, we're not the devil," but what are you doing? You're look at the murders. They say about 80% of the casualties have been in war, in Babylon's wars, have been men, women, and children, has been innocents. They've killed a few enemies, but then there's been casualties. What is it? Collateral damage. That's where that word comes from. And it says, "For Yahweh has put in their hearts to fulfill His will." So this is the Lord doing it. So we are seeing the fulfillment of what Yahweh Shem Yahshua is doing on the earth, because guess what? These nations are bending to the will. Just like I told you about the statue of Nebuchadnezzar, the Lord was bending nations to His will to fulfill prophecy. Even the time of working on when Daniel prayed, the Lord said I had to work on the king's mind, man. All right. And it says, let's jump right here. This is the book of Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 16 and verse 37. And it says, Ezekiel 16, verse 37, it reads, "Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, and it says, with all them that thou hast hated, I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness." What's that? That's the sins. And that's the fulfillment. Just like this video played out. You heard what he said, man. And he's vigorous about it. And this is not a small person. This person's, I have to get his name, but looks like he's been dealing with nations and the time where Babylon was trying to destabilize him. So he's speaking out of experience. He's not talking like it's some fantasy or he's just holding a grudge. He's speaking out of pure experience, and he looks like an Edomite. So that's why it says he maketh their tongues to fall upon themselves. So he's at the end of the day, there's no victory because if he's an Edomite, the whole nation is going down, man. So the earth can be refreshed. It says, behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness upon them, unto them, and they, it says, that they may see all thy nakedness, everything, all your dirty laundry. The Most High is airing it out for the nations to see and see, oh man, this man's the devil. Because we already witnessed it. Why do I say that? If you rape, rob, and murder people, you put out children in alligator mouths, you do, we can't say nothing. But when it comes down to the so-called time of the Holocaust, we're supposed to remember that every single year. So these atrocities happen. If you can remember yours, we can remember ours. Okay? Isaiah 33:1, it says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt, it says, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. See, so we're in that time, man. The Lord is putting every piece where it needs to be at, because judgment is on the horizon. Okay, that's a sit down too. Judgment is on the horizon. So Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. I'm gonna leave it there, and we say, call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. We say, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. So let's go ahead and end it out with this video. We'll play it again so you can get the full
to free competition. America is showing itself to be the hypocrite of all hypocrites here. America is the country that is telling the world that it supports free trade and competition and free enterprise, and yet it is the single biggest block to free competition and free enterprise that exists on the earth. America has all of these countries under sanctions because it wants to use economics to dictate politics to other countries. It also wants to dictate culture and ethnic relations between nations which have been friends among themselves and lived and coexisted in peace for generations and centuries and even millennia until America came and set them at each other's throats. America has inherited the English curse of divide and conquer in the interests of their empire. And the world is now smartening up to this. We cannot be allowed to be forced to fight among ourselves. I was here in Serbia during the crippling sanctions that America used to try and crush Serbia. They had no effect. The people banded together. I was in Japan when America was sanctioning Japan, and I was advising the Prime Minister's office. They did not cow Japan. Japan continued to produce. I have been in Canada when American interests imposed sanctions on our wood industry. America is the global bully. And as the nations of the world wake up to this fact, the bully, when it's outnumbered by all countries in the earth, will